Have you ever had an instance where you talk yourself out of doing something? Like there was some sort of like barrier you just couldn't overcome. Like you wanted to do it, you had your mind set on it, but for just whatever reason you talked yourself out of it. Well, in the health and fitness industry, you'd be surprised about this, but with weight loss, we know you have to diet and exercise. So we know there is a physical component you have to do in order to lose weight. We know that. However, there's another side. There is the mental side. And with this mental side, with the mindset and your thoughts, there are a lot of mental barriers that I noticed that comes up when it comes to weight loss. Think about this. If you are someone who is overweight, and how many times have you talked yourself out of going to the gym or joining a gym? How many times have you talked yourself out of not going to a place or situation because you don't feel good in your body? And that's okay if you think that. You're not alone. With fitness psychology here though, the idea is I want to make you become confident, is to build that confident mindset with you, because I don't want you to face these mental barriers. I want you to overcome them and accomplish them. And then if you do it with your health and fitness, the world's your oyster at that point there. So in this video, I'm gonna talk about these mental barriers that comes up that stops you from losing that weight. And I'm gonna talk about on how to overcome these mental barriers, because it's fine if we know what they are, but how do we overcome them? So I'm gonna discuss that in this video. And then you guys in the drill, before we do that, just hey, please subscribe to Fitness Psychology, because this is where I talk about topics with mindset, nutrition, fitness, because those are lifestyle habits that are just gonna make you become more confident and healthy. But let's go ahead and jump right into this on how to overcome these mental barriers. With mental barriers, you're your own worst enemy, right? You're the one who's gonna talk yourself out of doing things because you don't have the confidence within yourself. Well, the good news is with fitness psychology, we're gonna put you there. We're gonna make sure you become confident. But the first thing you need to do though is to overcome the mental barrier, is to stop the negative talk. This is probably one of the biggest barriers just in general for anyone, but you have to eliminate the self-negative talk. It's amazing how much we judge ourselves. It's baffling. And this is a little bit more personal, but for me, I used to judge myself way too much, and it really hindered me in a lot of areas of my life. So I slowly started to just cut the negative talk out of my life, and you need to do the exact same thing. So you need to eliminate the negative self-talk. So with this way to eliminate self-talk is, I used to do this, and I still do to this day, is a little bit of a formula with a negative thought. So you daily think over, it's between like 5,000 and like 7,000 thoughts daily. That's a ton of thoughts. But the thing is too, since we're creatures of habits, right? Our psychology, we just keep thinking about those same negative talks or the same negative images over and over and over again. So do this strategy instead. Whenever you have a negative thought about your self-image, whatever the case is, and be aware you're not gonna catch this every single time. We wanna start to develop this muscle here. We wanna start flexing it a little bit more. But every time you have a negative self-talk about yourself, I'm fat, I can't do it, I'm a woman, I'm too old, I'm a boy, whatever excuse you have, whenever that comes up, here's what I want you to do. Okay, that was one bad habit or one bad thought that came up. You're gonna have 5 now positive thoughts on top of that. And this could be anything. Remember, this is you. There's no judgment here. You, and it's you. But for every negative thought, think of 5 positive ones. It could be about your body, about what you're grateful for. It doesn't matter, but trust me, do this and repeat it and repeat it and repeat it and repeat it, and you'll be successful. Because one of the things that kind of bothers me with a lot of people, with like fitness influencers and even just like motivational speakers, and I'm sure I'll be classified in that area at some point during this journey, but is they don't really tell you to keep doing it. They'll just tell you the speech and like that's it. But guys, these are habits we're trying to build. with fitness psychology. So you have to keep repeating them. Even when it seems like you're not getting anywhere, repeat them. And trust me, if you do that, you will get results and you'll think a lot better about yourself. Please trust me on this one, it works. All right, so the first barrier was negative self-talk. The second barrier here, mental barrier, is the fear of failure. You are afraid you're gonna fail. You are afraid that you're not gonna be able to lose weight. You're afraid you might look silly in the gym. You're afraid you might feel weird with those clothes. You're afraid of failure. Guys, let's be real here. You're gonna fail. You're gonna fail a lot, and that just comes with life in general, but with those failures becomes lessons. With those failures becomes successes. So you have to get over the fact that you're gonna fail. We've all failed at something. I mean, the great people in society, they didn't just magically get there. They failed a crap load of times. So you're gonna fail too as well. But let's fail together at least and learn from those mistakes. So don't be afraid of going through a change that's necessary. Don't worry about what others are gonna think of you. Don't be afraid of failing your diet. If you fail, just get back on it and learn from it. But people don't even start on a journey because they're just afraid they're gonna fail in the first place. Fuck that, man. You can't think that way. All right, so the third mental barrier that a lot of people tend to struggle with is perfectionism. You just have to be perfect, don't you? God, I used to be like that. I used to be the guy when if my workout wasn't 60 minutes, I felt like it was just a waste. And I felt like if I didn't get the right amount of sets in, or if I didn't do my exercises in the correct sequence that I wanted, it was all over. You have to eliminate that perfectionist mindset because you're not gonna get anywhere if you think that way. Here's the thing is, you can't judge yourself. You just can't do it. So you're not gonna be perfect. And it's like what I just previously said about you're afraid of failing. Don't be afraid of it being perfect because it's not going to be. Just learn as you go. With weight loss, you're not gonna eat perfectly every single day. You're gonna gain weight maybe a little bit, but don't worry about being perfect. Just learn about being, persevering and learn about keep going and keep being consistent with the good habits versus the bad ones. And no one's perfect too. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. Your grandmother's not perfect. You don't want to be perfect anyways because that's just boring. The fourth mental barrier that's stopping you from weight loss is your emotional eating. And this is a very touchy subject. I know we can go down the rabbit hole really of just why people eat emotionally, and it makes sense. I do that actually as well. I have, but you have to eliminate emotional eating. If there's some mental barriers going on, that's why you want to exercise actually, because it helps you just to kind of like almost metaphorically speaking break down that mental barrier, because when you work out, you feel like a badass. When you work out, you get stronger and you feel good and you have more energy. So to eliminate these mental barriers is to eliminate your emotional eating. Be aware of what you're eating and when you're eating it and why you're eating it. So those were 4 mental barriers that are stopping you from losing weight. And remember this, you're the reason why you're not being successful is because of you. It's not because of X, Y, and Z. It's the internal battle here. It's the mental mind game you're playing with yourself every single day. Stop it. Stop, the stubbornness. Stop being stubborn and actually let go of the ego for a little bit too as well, guys. But don't prevent yourself from doing something that is necessary. And that's one of the things with fitness psychology is, I really want people to be aware about is to just, don't put that stuff on the back burner, really. But let me know, guys, what is a mental barrier that is causing you from, not having weight loss? Is it the emotional eating? Is it the fear of failure? You want to be perfect and you can't be. What is it? Let me know down below. And like I said, guys, please, subscribe to Fitness Psychology, hit the like button, share it, and I'll see you guys on the next one.